Hi everyone and welcome to Voices Across Borders, brought to you by Multicultural Talent Network. I'm Mina Kim Mak. In this podcast, we go beyond the resume to share real stories from professionals navigating life and career across borders. You will also hear from researchers as well as solo episodes where I dive into key topics shaping the global professionals. I hope you will find insight, connection, and maybe even a little encouragement along the way. Today, we are joined by Ayumi Ostrowski, a talented hands-on designer with a rich multicultural background and bilingual fluency in Japanese and English. With a deep creative spirit, Ayumi has worked with some of the most well-known household brands in both Tokyo and San Francisco, bringing her expertise to everything from brand identity to the finest details of packaging design. Born and raised in Japan, she later pursued her second college degree, which is design degree, in the United States, embracing new challenges and perspectives. Now as a freelancer, Ayumi is building her own client base while also exploring her passion for food and cooking, blending design and culinary creativity in fresh, exciting ways. In today's conversation, we'll talk about what inspired her to attend art school in the United States, how corporate culture differs between Japan and the US, and how creativities and expectation around it can shift across cultures. Welcome to Voices Across Borders. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What inspired you to pursue your degree in the US instead of Japan? Do you think your career would have taken a different direction if you had studied design in Japan?
I have always been passionate about design, but I didn't have the opportunity to pursue it until I was 29. I felt that starting a career as a graphic designer after graduating from an art school in Japan might be challenging due to age considerations. In the US, it is illegal to ask about age during interviews, which made me believe that graduating from US college would be advantageous. Also, I had heard that Japanese art school often emphasized fine arts. The US art school I was interested in focused more on the business aspects of design, preparing students for the job market. My career would be very different if I'd studied in Japan. The teachers, friends you meet, the environment, and the trends of specific moments in the specific area in the world all influences my career path. So yes, it'd be very different.
You have worked at global brands both in Japan and the US. How do you think the work cultures compare? And do you notice differences when it comes to creativity and work expectations?
Yes, there are two very different approaches. In US companies or studios, people are eager to contribute during the initial stage of the design process, actively pitching their ideas. The meetings are lively and optimistic, full of energy, but that excitement often fades during the execution phase. As a result, managers need to check in frequently to maintain the original quality and keep the project on schedule. On the other hand, in Japan, people tend to be more reserved and careful about sharing their thoughts in those early meetings. But once a goal is set, their execution is typically flawless. Having grown up in the Japanese education system, I feel I might lack that optimistic mindset and the confidence to freely share any ideas that come to mind.
Thank you so much for sharing. I completely understand.
Even
now,
you do.
Yeah, it's a very different culture. I try to be more quote-unquote aggressive when I need to present among Americans. It's a big cultural difference. Next, you have done both branding and print, which really shows how diverse design work can be. Do most designers move around like that, or is it more your unique path? Do you think speaking to languages and understanding to cultures has helped you in your career?
I believe it is indeed broad field. Graphic design is closely tied to the technology and trends of the time. In school, I took a variety of classes, including branding, typography, editorial design, color theory, and packaging, along with a few web and motion graphics courses, which were just beginning to emerge. During my time in Gap, my project focused solely on web design for a while. Then there was a significant structural change that combined the print and websites to create a cohesive brand experience from in-store to e-commerce. Suddenly, I found myself working on both. For instance, if there was a campaign to revamp denim line, my project would start with tags and packaging, extend to store signage, and then eventually include digital experiences, all within the same campaign. This trend continues today as graphic designers must consistently learn new types of design, trends, and applications. As for the second question, having knowledge of 2 languages have definitely helped me throughout my career. More than half of my jobs have been due to my experience with both languages. My first job in Tokyo was at an American agency called White & Kennedy, where English was the primary language in the office. At Apple, my project primarily involved adapting content from English to Japanese. I was offered my position at Gap because they were launching a Japanese e-commerce site at the time. Even at the matcha startup where I met you, my ability to work in both languages and understand both cultures played a significant role in my hiring.
Looking back, what kind of support and system do you think would help highly skilled multicultural professional like yourself adjust more smoothly to living and working in a new country? And when I say the system, it can be anything from the visa process to everyday logistics to feeling integrated into local life.
When it comes to the visa process, there's not much you can really prepare for, as things can change rapidly and unexpectedly. It's not entirely safe even for green card holders like me. A Japanese friend of mine who graduated from the same school before me had to leave New York after 9/11. I was also affected by 9/11 as the number of H-1B visas issued per year was cut in half. By the time I graduated 5 years later, there were too many applicants from previous years waiting, and it became a random lottery for the first time. Nobody knew, not even lawyer, what to do. I made sure I could find a job and get at least 5 years of working experience in the US, hoping it would improve my chance of finding a job back in Japan as a designer. Unfortunately, I didn't win the lottery. I worked at a company in LA for a year on a practical training visa. Someone once told me that you can never truly prepare for these situations. All you can do is learn how to navigate in circumstances. Whatever waves come your way, you must be ready to ride them.
Yeah, I think visa can be very tricky.
Yeah, very tricky.
I went through all the system as well. You never know. Sometimes it changes, depends on the president or some sort of situation. Yeah, that's a tough one. You have a strong passion for culinary creativity, and I love the fact that you are exploring ways to connect that with your design work. What do you usually enjoy making? And for listeners who want to see more of your work, where they can follow you?
I love cooking because it allows me to use my hands and senses with different colors and shapes. I enjoy pairing my dishes with my favorite ceramics. There are so many similarities between design and cooking. I feel fortunate to live in Northern California, where there are so many good produces and offering a lot of variety of food around the world, spices too. I love trying new recipes, exploring unfamiliar vegetables, and I cook all sorts of things. However, I usually can't escape my Japanese influences. I cannot get away from the urge to sprinkle soy sauce or nori seaweed on everything, for example. Recently, I started learning about fermentation, and I love incorporating fermented food into my cooking. I make shiokoji, yamazake, and lacto-fermented pickles at home. Last year, I even took a fermentation class in Kanazawa. What these little bacteria can do is fascinating to me. You can't talk about Japanese food without them. Sake, soy sauce, miso, mirin, all products are made by these tiny microorganisms. I have an Instagram account. It's Gomashio Kitchen. It's Gomashio Kitchen, where I often post what I'm cooking at home. It serves my cooking diary at the moment, and I'm hoping to find more ways to integrate my passion for food and design.
I love how you're mixing food, design, and storytelling in your cooking diary. I just followed your Gomashio Kitchen on Instagram. So many beautiful, tasty-looking photos. I would very much like to learn how to make some of those dishes in the future. Thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate you sharing your experience.
Thank you for having me.
If you're interested in reaching out to us, you can contact us at Multicultural Talent Networks or Mina Kim Mok, MINAKIMMOK, through LinkedIn. Thank you so much for listening.